Okay, hey, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, first I want to thank you guys for joining the webinar, Exploring and Maximizing an OraPub Membership. I created this webinar for a few reasons, but mainly it's because what really pushed me to do this was there's a lot of content now for members, and it can actually be overwhelming. And so I thought, man, I need to do something about that. And so I thought, well, I'll just do a webinar. And it turns out that a lot of people that are kind of interested in just, well, what's this OraPub membership thing all about? It turns out that a lot of people watch that as well, too. So a couple little housekeeping things. You are being recorded, so anything you type in the chat will be recorded, okay, that kind of thing. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have any questions, go ahead and put those, just chat, type them in. If I don't answer them during the webinar, I will afterwards, okay? In fact, even when we're officially done, I will stay as long as people have questions, okay? All my webinars are like that. In fact, some of the more interesting things happen after the official webinar, turns out, all right? All right, I think that's about it. Hey, where's everybody from? Type in your countries, because I know I'm pretty sure we have a pretty good international audience here today. So go ahead and type that in. I'm kind of curious. I'm not sure where everybody's is. Got Robbie's from India. Fantastic. Oh, it's really late in India right now. Wow. Sorry about the 10 o'clock. That's because I had an ASH LVC at 7. That's why I did not do this a couple hours earlier. All right, Massachusetts. Oh, Carol, you're from Nebraska. Wow. There's Oracle DBAs in Nebraska. That's good to know. James, you're in Atlanta. Oh, fantastic. Well, Kaylee, come on. You have a job. Arkansas. Pasadena, I grew up in Arcadia, right next door to Pasadena and the Rose Parade. That's very cool. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for doing that. I love it, man. We got people from all over the place. So we don't have a super big crowd. So that's going to give you guys more time if you want to ask some questions and stuff. So here's the situation. Okay, let's start off with the problem. Okay, you're a new OraPub member. Not that that's a problem, but there's opportunity here. Okay, you're considering becoming an OraPub member. Okay, which I'm hoping those of you who aren't are considering this. You're going to notice there's a ton of resources, and it can be kind of confusing, right? Especially if you're, like the question, Ravi, you had about the LVCs. There's some confusion, right? There's a lot of stuff out there. And I've noticed that when they're new OraPub members, sometimes, they're like, all right, I'm a member. I'm stoked. I got all this stuff now. And then it's that same response like, uh-oh, now I got all this stuff. Where do I go from here? Okay, and that can be really frustrating. And I don't want that to happen, right? Because people that become OraPub members, they're doing it for a reason, right? You're actually investing in yourself when you become a member, and which says something about the character of the OraPub members, because most people just go to YouTube and they watch hours of videos, and then they still can't figure out what's going on within Oracle. Anyways, so you want a career transformation. That's typically what's going on here. And if you get too much content, it can become overwhelming to you. All right? And I've seen that happen to people. So the core objective of this webinar is to make sure that you get a good start with this transformation journey. Yeah, and I want to say it's a journey, because if you're thinking about becoming an OraPub member and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to do this for 1 month and I'm going to just watch everything. I'm going to do everything. I'm thinking that is the worst thing you can do. Okay, I've had people send me emails. They say, hey, Craig, I want to be an Oracle tuning expert. How long is it going to take? I'm like, I don't know. Depends how much work you want to put into it, right? So, where was I here? There we go. It's going to take a while, and it's a journey. Okay. Now we specifically structured the membership so at any time you can get out. You can cancel. If you're monthly, it's every month. If it's an annual, it's every year. You can opt out not to renew. But we do this on purpose because we know jobs change. The world is just not Oracle. There's other databases, and so your objectives may change. And so we want to help. We don't want to penalize you for your career changes. So I want to help you get a good start on the journey. I want you to know what's available. That's really important to me, and then we'll give you some next steps. Okay. Okay. Probably the first. I mean, this is why this is the first thing I really want to talk about. Is I had to come up with a name for this thing other than just like mentoring, because that could mean so many different. I mean, mentoring, pastoring. I mean, counseling. Whatever you want to call this, right? So we came up with this name called custom curriculum. Basically, what this is that if you want to do this, okay, you email me as a member, okay. Once you're a member, you email me, and then I will respond back with a question or two, okay, and then you respond, and then I respond, and we go back in this dialogue, and slowly we kind of build out a curriculum for you. And usually this takes multiple weeks to do this, okay? Because I just don't want to dump everything on you because it's just going to be just completely overwhelming to you. But what you'll see will happen is that you'll know like what video seminars you want to focus on, what webinars you want to focus on, all this books, blog post, whatever. And we'll actually start to put some of this on a calendar for you so you can kind of have objective and goals and milestones as you kind of go through this journey. Okay? And that takes a few weeks to do that. And then that's it, unless I hear from you again, which I love to hear from people. All right. I mean, that's why I'm here. But this solved a lot of problems with people in terms of I got too much information and I'm not sure what to do next. All right. So that's available. If you're an OraPub member right now and you haven't, started that, and that's something you want to do, just email me and we can get going on that. Okay. I actually tried to automate that, do like machine learning. It was just people are too unique. And so I said, no, that's not working. I got to get personal. And so that's why we do it. We do a dialogue. So we got the custom curriculum. The next thing, and by the way, feel free to chat any questions, okay, is the video learning. These are the video seminars, which is what I typically call them. These are one of the reasons that people become members, all right? I think that they are really high quality. I spend a massive amount of time creating these things. And I haven't actually created one in quite a few months now, but I have like 3 of them that I'm working on right now, 3 additional ones. But these are super high quality. They last. They're kind of timeless in the content in those. And I specifically structured these things for Oracle DBAs. Okay, and this is how they're structured. They're like right around 10 minutes per module. And if you add up all the time, there's between an hour to 2 hours of actual content. Okay, I did them in short modules, so you can watch them like during lunch, or you can just take a break, 10 minutes, you can watch it. Right? If I just do a big long thing, then you're gonna go to sleep. No matter how hard I try, you're gonna sit on the couch and you're gonna go to sleep. So, so this is why I actually created these things. I think I always have a lot of fun with them too. You'll notice, I'm not going to, if you've watched some of the intros, you'll notice that sometimes I have quite a bit of fun with these things. I think there's probably something else I want to say about that. If you guys have any questions about it, just go ahead and, chat those in. Oh yeah, I knew there was something else. Sometimes people say, well, how should I watch these things? Okay, now we're just talking about one individual, not talking about all of them, like all the video seminars. So let's say you're focusing on just one of them. Like here we go, this one here, like Oracle Incident Analysis using Ash data. Okay, in fact, I might as well just go to the web page, right? Training, video learning, right there. Okay. And you say, okay, Craig, I actually want to focus on this one. Oracle Incident Analysis using Ash data. Okay. Okay, there's a couple different strategies that people typically take. Okay, and this is what I actually personally like to do. I would just kind of relax and just watch all the modules, one after the other as soon as I could. Okay, I like that because it gives me the context of what's going on. Okay, but after I do that, since I'm not going to remember most of the stuff because these are really fast. I mean, I go, and there's demos and all sorts of stuff. Then what you really should do is you watch each module. You watch one module and you're taking notes. Really, okay? Take a break and relax. And then when you can, watch another module and take notes. It's the taking the notes and the repetitive watching of the modules that just locks in the learning. Okay, because the reason you're doing this, you're becoming a membership or becoming a member, is because you want to get better, right? And the only way you're going to mastery is the key here. The only way you're going to master the content is if you just take your time and just kind of enjoy it and just kind of absorb what I'm trying to teach you. All right. So and not to rush through them. So that's my preference. What some people do is they'll watch one module, they'll take notes, they'll watch another one, take notes, and then they'll kind of be done with it. But I don't know. I like to get the whole flow, the flavor of what's going on, so I have a better context of understanding when I go back and then rewatch the actual modules. Okay, so that's the video seminars. I love these things. That's how the membership program really started. Was a good way for me to actually create a business really based on these initially. Okay. Let's see. Can AWR and Ash reports be consulted? You mean if you send me one? I suspect that's kind of what you mean. If you're a member, yeah, like Vaclav, if you want to, so the short answer is yes. How about that? Okay. The long answer is just don't send me a report and say, hey, Craig, what do you think? That doesn't. No, I'm a teacher. I'm not a free consultant, right? So, so what I will do, I will say, well, what do you think? And then hopefully you've gone through some of the video seminars and the webinar, and you'll understand how to actually create the framework of based on the AWR data. And then from that, as with the whole three-circle analysis thing, and we develop all these solutions, and I will help you kind of, work through that. But I won't do it for you. I will kind of ask you questions to kind of probe and to kind of, hopefully inspire you to actually come up with the right answers on things. Okay. But if you just send me AWR reports, that's not gonna happen. Not unless there's a PO associated with that. Okay. But I spend an incredible amount of time. And in fact, like with you, Vodcliff, I don't think you've ever sent me like a report like that, or I don't think we've dialogued like that, which is kind of unusual. Most members, we will do some of that. Right? And I love that kind of stuff. All right. So because we have all these video seminars, and there's going to be a bunch more, right? We have 15 right now. I mean, it starts adding up. A lot of content. So I specifically created these learning paths. And typically what people do is they start with the core diagnostics, and then they just work all the way through until they get them all, and until they have completed them all, which takes quite a bit of time. It takes a lot of time to do these, especially because I keep adding them. Part of the custom curriculum, I will have you focus on certain video seminars. I mean, usually it's a top down, but depending upon your focus area and what you really feel like you need right now, then I might have you jump ahead or do something like that. Okay. Yeah, I can talk about the OSM toolkit. The fact that we'll get to tools in just a minute here also. Yeah. That's a good comment. So Slack is, it's a tool, right? It's an application. A lot of companies use this. I know a lot of support people use this because it's a great way to avoid texting, that kind of thing. Anyways, we created Slack for OraPub members, and it's been really good. Some people love this thing. I mean, Kaylee, Andrea, are the two ones that spend hours on this thing. But more and more people are actually active on it. Some people, frankly, do not like it because it's just a continual stream. It's not set up like a forum where you can search for things. I decided not to do that, and that could change based upon feedback and all that kind of thing. But I kind of like the free flow. What most people do who use it, they might keep it like just kind of running on their computer or something like that. Or maybe once a day they'll kind of scan through, see if there's something of interest. And of course, people ask questions all the time. Okay? If you ask a question in Slack, you will probably get it. I mean, you will for sure get, that's a good question. I don't know the answer. I can't imagine you'd ever just be like left alone. Okay. And usually there's some really good dialogue and you'll get a good answer to your question, or at least, some direction. We have a lot of really good DBAs. We got OCMs as members. We've got a couple of OCMs, which is pretty cool. So this kind of leads me to when you're an OraPub member, don't email support@orapub.com. I still have some people that do that, and I appreciate the sensitivity, of my time and all that. But as OraPub members, it's like, you guys put food on my table. You feed my family, okay? And so I treat you differently. I always try and respond as quickly as I can on emails, right? When you're a member. If you're not a member, especially if you're just asking me these questions, you're just like sucking information out of me, I really slow down my response on those. But as members, boom, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And sometimes that is a day, especially if you're emailing me a lot, okay? So please feel very comfortable. I invite you, I'm asking you just to email me or email Katrina if you have something like about the membership and all that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so I want to make sure I actually specifically say that to new members now also. Okay, the how-to webinars. I would say that the how-to webinars are probably most people really like these things. That is I didn't really expect this, but I actually really like these webinars. Let me give you the backstory to this. You see, the video seminars are really focused on how things work. Like think of Oracle internals, like how was data processed? How do the algorithms work? Okay. The problem with that though is what do you do with all that like just raw knowledge? How do you do something with that? That's why I have the how-to webinars. And I use that to force myself to make sure that I'm talking about how to do something, not just how something works. Okay, and that's why I always am typing live, right? There's scripting and there's a lot of things that I do, and there's a typing log, right, that you can download that you can copy and paste stuff in yourself. I mean, and type things. They're all about how to do something, and I am very consistent in doing 2 of these every month. And if for some reason, I can't do it for some reason, or there's a topic that I would really like somebody to talk about, I will go get somebody to do that talk. In fact, we've just done that, recently. We've had some other people. So anyways, so that's the how-to webinars, and I love these things. They're so much fun. They're like my little research projects. And actually, my blogging has really reduced this past year, and that's because I've spent so much time on the how-to webinars. So, okay, the other thing is the live virtual classes. I talked a little bit about this before. Those are not part of an OraPub membership unless you are a Prime member. If you're a Prime member, you can sign up to any one of these. Okay, these things are awesome. A lot of what's in these is kind of pieced and spread out in various webinars and the video seminars. The beauty of these live virtual classes is I have them structured in 2-hour chunks, and there's usually a day between the various, when we meet online together. And you have homework, okay, really. So, I lecture and I teach for a couple hours. You get the homework as well as everything I typed, and, there's it's kind of like this typing log kind of thing. There's a lot of info in that. You get that. The sessions are recorded, and you can watch those as many times as you want. Right now, I have it on my website. It's for 3 years. You can watch these things. It's not forever, okay, but 3 years is practically forever. And so these are super good. I mean, these are. I mean, really, if you have the extra, budget for this, you got the budget, I would do these things. Clearly, the AWR one is the most popular. People have told me this is like a career changer. How many times does somebody say that to you? Not that often. They say this with this one. The ASH one is awesome because people who finish the ASH one, they tell me they feel like so dangerous, right? Because now they have the AWR knowledge. Now they got the ASH knowledge. They can take on the world. It's that kind of thing. The fast path is for people that wanted to start at ground zero, right? It's a pretty short class. It's just for people that are just starting out or just want to make sure that they've kind of got all those basic little things covered before they really get into the deeper stuff. Brand new LVC. Did you hear this? Brand new. We haven't even sent out emails about this yet. It's called Performance Engineering for DBAs and Managers. So I have all the infos on my website if you're interested in that. The first one's going to be at I think the last week of March, something like that coming up. Okay. Members always get a 20% discount. And if you live in certain countries, you'll get even more of a discount. That was Katrina right there. All right, next thing. Where are we here? How are we doing on time? Pretty good, pretty good. See, Vaclav, you want the Bloodhound one? Yeah, yeah. The problem with doing like a webinar on the OSM toolkit is it doesn't have one major theme. See, Bloodhound is all about ASH analysis. The OSM toolkit has it's just like these different collections of scripts. That's why it's kind of weird to do like the whole thing on that. But I guess I could do that. Anyway, of course, there's other resources, right? There's books, videos, there's a lot of stuff out there. When we go through the custom curriculum, I will reference some of those or ask you to say, go ahead and look for some of those. Okay. There's some fantastic stuff that's out there on the internet for you. The tools, okay. Like every tool on this tool page right here, you can download these things for free, whether you're a member or not. So if membership you're just not ready for that, you're not ready to make that commitment, you can still download the tools. Okay, and sometimes, in fact, I should mention, sometimes on the webinars, sometimes I do free, like public webinars. Like I think I did one on the Bloodhound Toolkit once, and I'll do, I'll do free webinars as well too. But I don't do those very often because I want to spend my time with my members. Right? So there's a bunch of tools out there. Some of these are new, some of these get updated. Some of these have been around for a long time, 2008. On this one, right? Some of these are even 2007. They're out. They're long. I got quite a variety of tools. Anyways, that's where you get them. You download them for free. So I just want to make sure you know that you don't need to be a member to actually download those. All right. I got a drink of water. I'm trying to get through this relatively quickly, because I know you guys are really busy too. Got to get ready for my webinar tomorrow. Okay, the assessment system. Those of you that are basically any type of membership other than essential, you have access to the assessment system. So if you're an Advantage member, if you're an annual member, do all annual members have assessment system, Katrina? No. Okay, you got to be an Advantage then, which, yeah. Of course, Prime members have access. They have access to everything. And if you're a team member, like if your company has a group of DBAs that are members, and that's fantastic. We love it, and it's a good thing for everybody. But if you have a team membership or one of those other I mentioned, then you have access to the assessment system. So, and you pay extra for that, right? And that's because it costs money to get you onto this assessment system. I did not write this thing. So, but I will tell you this: it's something that I know everyone who is thinking about being a member, or let's say they're an essential member and they're like, do I want to kind of do the Advantage? Okay, so why? I can tell you 100%, I believe this from the depths of my essence. The people that actually test themselves after they watch the video seminars, they really learn this stuff. They learn it. I don't know what it is, but if you know somebody's going to ask you about something that you're doing, your whole mental focus or something changes inside of us that says, somebody's going to ask me about this. I'm going to pay more attention. It's kind of weird how that works. And so the people that have access to the assessment system, they are much more serious in terms of their learning. So if you kind of want to set that goal for you, then it's worth the extra, I don't know what it is, $5 a month or something like that for it. All right. And the assessment system is just for the video seminar. So right now there's 15, I think, video seminars. So there's 15 different assessments. And these things are not meant to be easy. They're not meant to make you feel good. All right. I don't do that. All right. Yeah. I don't, Katrina's slacking here. It's not about just ripping through these things. God, it really just bugs me when I see people just start ripping through these things, because if I look closely, they fail them a few times before they pass. In fact, I need to tell you this. If you fail 3 times in a row, you are locked out of the assessment for that particular assessment. And so you need to email me and say, hey, Craig, would you unlock me? Now I will. Okay. But if you fail 3 times in a row, that tells me that it's like you're just trying to pass the test. You're not trying to master it. That's the idea. Remember, this is volunteer, right? We're not in high school here, right? You're paying money for this, so you might as well try and get the most you can out of it. That's the way I look at it anyways. So anyway, that's the assessment system. It's awesome. It's a great interface. I wish my website was this good, but that's a whole nother thing. All right. So we will be checking to see how you're doing. You guys will occasionally hear just from Katrina or myself out of the blue, hey, how's the membership going? Okay, and we'd love it if you'd respond back to those because it helps us make it better. I mean, we're regular people just like you guys, you know. People ask me, well, how'd you get so good at this? You know, I'm like, well, you know, if you did the same thing like 50,000 times, and that's all you did, you'd get good at it too. All right. So we're regular people. We're just very focused on one little piece of the industry of IT. We're like, yeah. All right. So we'd love to hear from you. So the next step. All right. The next step, let me just fast forward in my notes here. Well, if you're not a member, right, just check it out, see what's going on the, you know, with some of the resources. All the video seminars have free intros. The webinars all have free intros. You'll get a pretty good idea. One thing you don't get is you don't see me actually work through the session log, which I haven't done here. But usually, you know, if you've been on the webinars, you know, I'll ask a question, and then we'll talk about the answer, and we'll just dialogue through the thing. That's how I really like to teach online. All right, and that keeps it going. Anyways, so if you become an OraPub member or you're an OraPub member now, remember that custom curriculum, especially if you feel kind of like, I don't know, like you're not feeling focused, or you're thinking, you know, I'm just kind of floundering, I'm not working through, I don't really have a goal. Sometimes that's really helpful to have a goal, some milestones. I will help you do that. Okay, that's what I do. That's what the membership program is all about. I mean, you know, what makes the OraPub and the whole membership thing is so different from any other kind of membership video learning thing out there is one, it's more than just video learning. But Katrina and I know it sounds kind of weird, but we actually care. All right, we actually care about you and your career, and it does not bother us when you contact us. That's why we do what we do. So that's kind of one thing that makes us unique, and I think that the OraPub members really like is because they kind of know that, okay, Craig and Katrina have my back, and there's an OraPub community which also really enjoys, you know, helping me out as well too. So that's kind of the introduction to the membership, what it's about, and if you're an OraPub member, I wanted to make sure you heard about that custom curriculum again, and just to fill in some gaps about your membership, because there's a lot of times there's things people don't know that they really have access to. I don't know, but it does happen. So that's all I have to say. Whew, it's 10:30. That's pretty good for a half hour. If you guys have any questions at all, go ahead and type those in, and I'll respond to those. So while you guys are thinking about that, you know, Vaclav asked a couple of really good questions, and I want to touch on the AWR and the ASH report thing. For AWR or stats pack reports, if you go through just the core basic analysis that I teach you how to do, okay, you know, you do the best you can do, and it, you know, and it's not a lot of typing. There's more thinking and organizing. Then I for sure will respond to that. All right, I will not let that set because I know it's a serious thing for you, and so it's a serious thing for me. In terms of an ASH report, I'll tell you, I never ever, kind of weird, I never ever use the standard ASH reports. Okay, I feel like when I see those things, it's like they're trying to use ASH data in an AWR way, and like that's not the beauty of ASH. The beauty of ASH is session level sampled detail, and if you have the right tools to use that, you can do just mind-blowing stuff with that. And that's what all my incident analysis and all the ASH focused content is about. All right, and I never feel the need to mix AWR and ASH data together because usually I can use them both, but I use them separately. I never try and bring them. I never try and have one look like or act like the other. I don't know that, but you know. Anyways, that's my take on that. Yeah, webinar on the OSM toolkit. I can do that, but I'll have to. It won't be very exciting though. Maybe I'll just kind of, next time I use some of the tools in the webinars, I'll just mention a little bit more about the toolkit, and I'll do more of that. I think that would be good. Let's see, Robbie's got a question. Could you please explain the custom curriculum again? Does it change based on the membership program? No, it does not. You could weasel your way in at the lowest membership possible, the essential monthly, and I will treat you just like the Prime member in terms of the content or the custom curriculum. All right. I mean, there is a human dignity element involved in this, and I appreciate your membership regardless of the level, for sure. And I want you to be successful in your membership. I mean, that's to both our advantages. So I will work with you, yeah. It's just a dialogue back and forth. Okay, it's not like I give you this book like, okay, here's the syllabus. It's not like that at all. I'm actually working with you, and I'm kind of like listening to you as you tell me what you want to do, and I learn a little bit about your past, what you've done in terms of Oracle and all that. So, and I tell you, you'd be amazed at the really cool stuff I get to do. I help people that's not directly custom curriculum related, but I work with people through like job stuff, some life, family stuff. As you'd be amazed the questions I get asked, and I love doing that kind of stuff. In fact, I'd probably rather do that than all this Oracle stuff. But that's a whole nother topic. So yeah, you can. I will work with you, and you can be an essential monthly, and we can start the process for sure. That's a really good question. Thank you for asking that. Yeah. All right. Anything else? I think that's it. If anybody asks anything up at the top here. Yeah, remember the LVCs are not included in memberships unless you have a Prime membership. Okay. Every OraPub member gets a discount, right off the top 20% for sure. Okay. But it's extra. Yeah. Yeah, we've had some confusion over that, so I want to make sure that that's really clear. Okay. All right. No other questions. Going once, twice. All right. Okay. So that'll be it for the webinar. I'll stay on for a few minutes if you guys have any other questions. Here we go. Got a question from Ravi here. It always happens, right? When I'm saying, okay, that's about it. We're going to be done. Oh, there's a question. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I can hear people clicking off right now. Hey, we'll be the official end, and then I'll just answer any questions. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any other questions, you can email me, Slack me if you're members, and all that kind of stuff. I'll be happy to work with you. Okay. Thanks for watching.